All right, then I show that we're at 10 o'clock. I'll get started. Appreciate everyone joining this morning for the Regional Programs 2024 Call for Projects workshop. This we keep it very casual. So if you have questions, certainly don't hesitate to interrupt myself or any of the presenters. Really intended to be very informative for you and or your staff. Just if you have a specific question as we go through the two calls, we have staff available. They'll be presenting also available for questions. So 2024 call for projects, do a brief introduction of the MAG staff I have on board that'll be helping me present today. Kind of just a quick overview of the call. I'll real quickly pull up some screens, kind of walk you through where some things exist in time and space. Then we'll do a quick presentation on PM10 certified street sweepers. Then talk about the traffic signal optimization program, following questions. That being said, if you have any questions as we go through the presentation, please by all means ask those questions. So for those maybe new to this process and how we do it, hopefully the page comes up. So I wanted to kind of walk through actually where you find these documents. We always put the links in the presentation. I think those are helpful. That being said, for those of you who may not be familiar with the MAG website and or the navigation thereof, here's our web page. And what I wanted to do was kind of just show folks where things are. If you go to the landing page of MAG, which is azmag.gov, here's the home page. At the top, we have our programs. All of the call for projects are housed underneath the Transportation Improvement Program. I click here. You see the TIP homepage, and then embedded within the TIP homepage is the call for projects. You'll always be looking for the current call for projects. And this is the landing page. This is where the information that we'll be presenting is contained. A brief scroll down, you see everything about the August call for projects, brief overview of what calls we are doing, links to both applications, and then as well supporting information, particularly important in the street sweeper space, as far as there are certain areas where these exist. And then you'll see some conversation coming up. We've got some screen grabs. But within this, there is a call for projects page specific to the PM10 certified street sweepers. If your agency is looking to put in an application for a street sweeper, this is where you'd go. If you need assistance with that, Dean will be more than happy to do that. So brief overview of where we have, but joining me on the presentation today, I have, hold on, I apologize, let me get back to, I have Dean Giles, who's with our air quality group, and also Mohammed Shahid and Chris Gottsacker with our safety section, who will be available and will be presenting their items. And with that, Dean, I'm going to turn it over to yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, Patrick. Patrick's kind of covered here the first couple of bullets on this page. You know, there's not a lot of changes from how we've structured this in the previous years. But if you do need assistance finding the web-based application, you know, please contact me and we can certainly get you there. Or if you need to have a new account set up, you know, we can assist you with that as well. We did send out the call for projects on August 1st. There's 1.3 million in federal CMAQ funding that's been programmed in the Transportation Improvement Program. However, when it comes to reimbursement of the sweeper projects, we do anticipate reimbursing with non-federal funds. Excuse me. The last bullet there is important. You know, we're requesting that any applications come in by 10 a.m. on September 13th. So we don't accept late applications. The timestamp that's on the web-based application will serve as that reminder. Just a real quick note here on the application. You know, we do have a useful life policy, which is a lot of you might be considering replacing an older PM10 certified street sweeper. And so if that older sweeper is at least 8 years old or has recorded 12,000 service hours or 96,000 miles of operation, then it qualifies for replacement. The the unit must have achieved at least one of those service um, hours or useful life period at the time the application is submitted. So just to keep that in mind. Next slide. In addition, most of you are aware of this, but for any newcomers who might be new to the program, there is a process for disposal of a grant-funded street sweeper. ADOT has laid this out in in some of their guidance materials, and so if you're in need of disposing of a vehicle, please contact myself, and we can assist you in getting that sweeper disposed. I'd be happy to take any questions on any of this material.
Hey, Dean, did you want real quick, maybe walk them through the schedule so that they can kind of understand when they expect to see things from the sweeper process?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Good point. So the applications again are due September 13th at 10 o'clock. We'll be posting those applications online. The street committee will be reviewing the applications at their meeting on October 8th, followed by the Air Quality Technical Advisory Committee making a recommendation on a prioritized list at their meeting on October 24th. And then later on, the MAG Management Committee may recommend approval of the prioritized list at their meeting on November 13th, followed by approval on December 4th by the MAG Regional Council.
Thank you, Dean. And just to clarify, the two documents that Dean identified talking about both the useful life policy and the ADOT disposition item are both also on the website as well. And so we'll pause here. Do any member agencies have questions for Dean about the street sweeper process for this current call for projects?
Yeah. Hi, Dean. This is Adam, City of Peoria. Last time we went through this process, we ended up having to go through the competitive bid with ADOT. I believe that was back in like 2020. Is there any requirement for that this year, or are we able to use cooperative contracts?
Yeah, Adam, this year, because we'll be reimbursing with non-federal funds, we will not be required to go through the ADOT process. And so the city of Peoria will conduct their own bidding process.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions for Dean on the street sweeper process? As noted on the slide, you can also see Dean's contact information if you have a question after the meeting as you're maybe working through the application process and maybe getting stuck somewhere. Always reach out to Dean. He's more than happy to assist you get through that process. Thank you, Dean.
You're welcome.
Next, I see Margaret Herrera, our Traffic Safety and Operations Program Manager, has joined, and she will be I assume, Margaret, you're going to be presenting on TSOP?
Sure, Patrick. There might be some more detail that Mohammed can provide, but I'd be happy to. So good morning, everybody. Just as a fun fact, this will be MAG's 21st year of conducting traffic signal optimization program projects. So we're excited to get the fiscal year 2025 cycle going. As you can see here on the screen, the application can be found on the MAGTIP webpage, as well as directly at the TSOP webpage at the link shown here. The notice for the call for projects went out the same day as the street sweepers on August 1st. And this year we have $500,000 available to fund these valuable traffic signal optimization program projects. Those applications are due on August 26th. And I also want to put a plug in here. We had sent out a template presentation The presentations for these projects will be provided by agencies submitting applications at the September 4th ITS committee meeting. And so we are requesting that your presentation be provided to us on August 26th as well. We sent that notice out to members of the ITS committee. However, if you don't have representation on that committee, we would be happy to get that template to you. Or actually, if you're not a member of that the ITS committee and you are submitting an application, we'd be happy to get that to you. Just email me at the contact information showing on the last slide. Next slide, please. So a couple of important reminders. Applications need to be submitted to the TSOP at azmag.gov. This enables us to make sure that even if one of us is out of the office, the other can pick up and process that application for you. So it's really important that you get it to that email address. And as I mentioned before about the presentations, we've provided the template, but we would be happy to work with you on that presentation ahead of that September 4th committee meeting. So the goal is to have all projects complete by 2025. And so that's one of the reasons why we're getting started this early in coordination with the other street sweeper projects. And then we also have provided a frequently asked questions document and a process document on the webpage as well. And a lot of that will hopefully answer all of your questions, although I'd be happy to answer any others that you might have. You can see here the schedule on the right side of the screen. Projects released August 1st, 2024. The deadline of August 26th. Project presentations, as I mentioned, September 4th. We will then post all of the applications onto the TSOP webpage, at which time members of the ITS committee have those available to them to do their qualitative evaluation. And the instructions for that will also be included on the TSOP webpage and some guidance as well. The evaluation results will be on the ITS committee meeting for November 6th. And at that time as well, we will have the quantitative evaluation scoring that's being done by our performance measurement team. So thanks to them for the big help on doing that portion of it. We anticipate that the recommendation for the list of TSOP projects will go to MAG policy committees in December and January for a kickoff of those projects in February of 2025. And again, just to make sure that we can complete those by the fiscal year end on June 30th, 2025. Next slide, please. Any questions? Great, thank you all.
Real quick, Margaret, while we're waiting, I'll just kind of, so as Margaret alluded to, here is the traffic signal optimization program webpage on the MAG website. And I'll just scroll down real quickly. And as Margaret alluded to earlier, I don't know if we wanted to real quick highlight, but the three different items that are there in the material section related to the call.
Sure, so the first one there, whoops. Yes, thought I muted myself. The first one there is the TSOP application for fiscal year 2025. The TSOP project process, there's a lot of good information in there. If you've never done the TSOP project before, it kind of outlines the three project types and what's included in those, what the agency responsibility in these projects are and things like that. And then, of course, we've been compiling a list of questions that we've received in the past within that TSOP Q&A document there.
And remind me, Margaret, is the application an Excel-based file or is it a PDF file?
It is a PDF file.
Okay. Excellent. Any questions for Margaret about the TSOP program for this year? As she noted, this is kind of a unique opportunity that we were able to include them as part of the Call for Projects workshop. So appreciate Margaret and her team being online today for this. All right, well, appreciate that, Margaret. Thank you so much. As always, this is a very quick presentation. I did want to, before we conclude, excuse me, take a moment. Shameless plug. We actually have another call for projects coming in mid-September, currently targeting Monday, September 16th for the fiscal year 2026, 2027, and 2028. Paving unpaved roads call for projects. So we had a little bit of pause in that program. So the paving unpaved road application process should start mid-September. Any other questions for the team today about the current call for projects? Excellent. Well, I appreciate everyone attending, taking a few moments out of your busy schedules, and look forward to all the applications we'll be receiving, and we'll be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick. Margaret, others?
Thanks, Ward.